Venezuela is facing a growing oil bottleneck as U.S. sanctions and tanker seizures disrupt exports, leaving millions of barrels stranded offshore and raising fears of a deeper energy and geopolitical crisis. According to Reuters, Venezuela's state-run oil company, PDVSA, is now loading crude and fuel oil onto tankers, only to keep them anchored in Venezuelan waters. With limited onshore capacity, these ships have effectively become floating storage units as fears of U.S. interception keep them from sailing. Venezuela faces oil bottleneck as U.S. sanctions strand tankers at sea. The crisis intensified after President Donald Trump announced a naval oil blockade targeting sanctioned vessels. Shipowners have grown increasingly wary following U.S. moves to intercept and seize tankers, sending a chilling signal across global shipping markets. Trump's naval blockade spooks shipowners as U.S. targets Venezuelan oil flow. More than a dozen fully loaded tankers are now stuck offshore. PDVSA, pumping around 1.1 million barrels per day, is rapidly running out of space, especially at the key Jose terminal, the heart of Venezuela's oil exports. The crunch is sharpest in eastern Venezuela. In the west, inventories are more stable thanks to Chevron, which continues exporting crude from joint ventures. But Chevron accounts for only about a quarter of Orinoco Belt. The rest, once bound for China, is now largely stranded. Over a dozen fully loaded tankers stuck as storage at Jose Terminal fills up. The U.S. Coast Guard has already intercepted 2 fully loaded Venezuelan tankers. With more seizures expected, buyers are demanding steeper discounts or staying away entirely. China, Venezuela's biggest crude buyer, is closely watching developments. U.S. interceptions raise buyer fears as China watches Venezuelan supply risk. President Maduro insists exports will continue. In a televised address, he vowed that Chevron shipments would go ahead no matter what, even as Caracas accuses Washington of economic warfare. Maduro vows oil exports will continue despite U.S. sanctions and blockade. Markets are reacting cautiously. Oil prices paused after a 5-day rally, fueled by concerns that Venezuelan supply disruptions could tighten global markets. Brent crude hovered near $62 a barrel, while U.S. WTI edged higher, both up about 6% since mid-December. Oil prices hold near recent highs as markets price in Venezuelan risk. With tankers stuck, filling fast, and warships moving into position, Venezuela's oil industry is under unprecedented strain. As sanctions tighten and military pressure builds, the question is no longer just about oil, but how far this confrontation at sea might go. Stakes rise as oil, sanctions, and military pressure collide off Venezuela's coast.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.